Hello, so here is my presentation on kindergarten labels based off the research that I've been doing all semester long. So a little bit about my placement. I was placed at Montevideo in San Ramon, California in a kindergarten classroom of 25 diverse and amazing students. Here are some points from their school's mission statement, but I really wanted to highlight the first one, which is every child deserves a free and top quality education. This statement is very evident at the school. The teachers work tirelessly to provide this to all of their students, and it's just very inspiring to work beside them. So after looking at Melina's PowerPoint for some inspiration, I felt really inspired by her positionality slide. I felt like after seeing that, it made me realize how important it is to reflect on myself going into my research. So I recognized the differences that I have between myself and my students. So I felt doing a self-reflection of who I am would be crucial to my research. My research question is revolving around labels that students face. So I wanted to reflect on myself and my past schooling. I am white. I am a female from Morgan Hill, California. I grew up in middle class. I went to private schools all my life. And at those schools, I did face labels such as slow, struggling, and even I was called a bad student at one point, which really stuck with me. So on to the next. My research question before and after, because of that self-reflection, I wanted to work with kids that I felt like I could relate to label-wise, despite knowing we have so many differences. So I knew I wanted to work with kids with labels and how it affects them long-term, and if they're even aware of these labels, and just simply how I could help. So this evolved into a self-study about how do I, as a student teacher in a kindergarten classroom, make sense of students' ability and disability labels? And how does this impact the ways in which I understand and support them? My North Star anchor concept was inspired by an article called Resolving Struggling Readers' Homework Difficulties, How Elementary School Counselors Can Help. So this article, to summarize it, made me see how important it is to be aware of our students who are struggling and who need help. Um, so I did that through observation, which made me pick out the kids who I want to work with for my research. And then this led into collaborative work, which was talked about a lot in the article. I collaborated with my students I was working with by using topics they were familiar with to make their work more interesting and fun. And I felt like this was really helpful and really I saw a difference in the students and how they approached their work after doing that. And then also, I thought from this article, the use of counselors was really interesting. We didn't do this in my classroom, but I still felt like it was worth mentioning because the tools counselors bring to educators can help struggling students navigate the frustrations they feel. So I just thought that was interesting and something I would love to dig deeper on in the future. So my data collection consisted of first observing my students. I took mental notes of how my label students interacted with challenges and difficulties that they faced. And then I collected a bunch of artifacts, which were worksheets and handwriting samples. So I took those artifacts and I noted the progress the students were making, and how well they worked with me and how well they worked without me. And I'm very happy with how the data collection went. I started with observations, which made me take note of which students I would focus on. Then I was able to take artifacts and see what I could do to be of help to my students. So thinking about the future, I recognized how important my self-study was because not only did it help my students, but it helped me become a better teacher for students who are facing these labels that I once faced as well. I'm going to continue observing and analyzing artifacts in every classroom that I am in. And I think an important part of this too is to remind myself that I know what it's like to be that student. And while I might be different from my students, I know the pain that they go through when they have teachers who kind of give up on them. So I just want to be the patient and teacher that I needed at their age. So that constant reminder, I think, will help me incorporate my research in the future. So thank you so much.